Hello everybody, my name is Aaron Collins and this is another rendition of me addressing worldly issues in a godly way. I wanted to reiterate on a video I recently did about the NFL boycott, the anthem controversy, and the kneeling. A lot of people got in the comments and told me that I was disrespecting the memories of the soldiers. I was disrespecting the flag. First of all, nothing could be further from the truth. If anything, I do respect the legacy of those soldiers who fought for our freedoms. I get that. But what you don't realize, these same soldiers that you're saying that I'm desecrating on fought for the rights for those NFL players to take a knee. That was their right to do that. They fought for that right. Now, I really don't owe anyone an apology or an explanation, but I decided to go and extend the courtesy anyway. Because you see, everyone wants to talk about disrespecting the flag. The flag is only a piece of cloth. Okay, it has no feelings as anything. But people seem to forget the perpetual racism that is running rampant in this nation against African Americans. That is what those NFL players were taking a knee at. The anthem itself is a racist anthem. This anthem, if anyone's bothered to read the lyrics, and I have read the lyrics, it talks about slavery. It talks about supporting slavery. It talks about disenfranchising and oppressing slaves. Why doesn't anyone seem to understand that? The only thing people see is that this flag is that you're disrespecting our flag, you're disrespecting our nation. Well, racism and white supremacy have managed to go unchecked for centuries under this very flag that you hold in such high esteem. Yes, I get it. America is the greatest nation. There's some things that you can do in this country that you can't do in other countries. Once again, one of those things is to have the right to be able to take the knee. You see, one of the constitutional rights is freedom of expression. Well, those men, and the majority of them are black, express themselves when they show disdain at what's going on in this country. Now, Colin Kaepernick took the lead on that one, and I do support him for that. But when the other NFL players started doing it, that's when it started really, people started taking notice. Yeah, people took notice when Colin did it, but it wasn't as big of an issue. But you still have police officers shooting black men down in unproportionate numbers in the streets. And don't give me the narrative that they were all guilty. They weren't all guilty of anything. And even if they were guilty of something, it didn't warrant for them to be shot unarmed in the street. You see, the same system that continues to disrespect and disenfranchise African American people is the same system. Well, I just said it. It's the same system. We don't live in a post-racial society. Things seem like they're getting worse, actually. Racism is not a thing of the past, as some would want to believe. It is still very much present. Now, I get it. No one wants to talk about this. But as I stated before, racism and white supremacy is the elephant in the room that no one wants to talk about. But you know what? The more you try to ignore something, the worse it gets. Because it's going to still be there. It doesn't matter how much you try to ignore it, it is going to still be there. You ever try to eat in the kitchen and there's a big elephant in the room? Everyone's looking around the elephant's hindquarters saying, "Hey, how you doing? How's your meal?" "Oh, everything's great." Meanwhile, the elephant's still standing there just free as it can be. That's what racism is in this nation. It's an unchecked monster. The problem is not necessarily racism, though. I'm beginning to understand that. I'm beginning to get it. No, racism is not necessarily the problem. It's the fact that we keep bringing it up and talking about it. It's like it's allowed to be perpetuated by the oppressor, but you don't want the oppressed to talk about their oppression from the oppressor. That's basically what it all amounts to, what it all boils down to. So, when I say that the football players taking a knee during the national anthem, I support that. It's not disrespecting the flag. It's not disrespecting the legacy and memories of those soldiers who also fought for my rights to support these players and to make this video. Once again, the soldiers died for the right for those players to take a knee during the anthem. But once again, I get vilified. These black men on the field get vilified. But very rarely do the supporters and the perpetrators of racism ever get vilified at all. It's like, it's selective seeing. You choose to see what's going on when you want to see it at your convenience, when it suits you. And then you want to come out and speak on it. It's like you expect the victim to not speak on their oppression, as I've stated. You expect the victim to just sit there and take it. To sit there and say, yes, master, oh, may I have another one? But that's not going to fly. Because I guarantee, once you raise enough stink, a big enough stink about this, then I think only real change can happen. So, before everyone starts getting on my case about the anthem and the players, you should check your own hand for blood. Because I did nothing wrong. So anyone, like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Let me know what you think. You've already have. So I guess I don't have to tell you that. Hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of other videos. And as I stated before, I have a goal I'm trying to meet at the end of this year. My goal is to get at least 1,000 subscribers. Would it be too much for you to help? I will certainly appreciate it. I could really use your help on that. Because I'm only just trying to bring stories as they happen. I'm only trying to talk about the real thing. I'm not here to tickle people's ears. Yeah, there are some things I do talk about that are of a more lively nature. I do talk about those things also. But I also want people to know what's really going on in this world today too. Because see, some people choose to live under a rock. Some people choose to live with blindfolds on. Some people choose to live in a fantasy zone. And that's just unfortunately not the world we're living in. I'm sorry, but it's not. I'm not the one that created these conditions. Actually, it's quite biblical. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, share this video. And remember, everyone, God loves you. I love you. Let's do life.